Last shape that we're going to make is the I-beam. All right, and you might recognize an I-beam because an I-beam is in most construction projects. There's actually one in the middle of my classroom. So to make your I-beam, you've got to decide what are the dimensions that you want to use. I went with an inch by an inch by an inch. You can use a different set of dimensions if you want, but I'm going to show you how I did mine inch by inch. The other thing you want to do is you want to add a piece of scrap paper on the top of the I-beam that'll hold these pieces together. Let me show you how I did mine. To do mine, what I did is I took my ruler, all right, and I measured an inch, an inch, an inch, made some lines, did the same thing on the other side, and by making both sides an inch, I have a equally sized I-beam. So I measure over an inch, another inch, and an inch. From the other side, I'll move my ruler over a little bit, an inch, an inch, an inch. I'll do the same thing to the bottom of the sheet. From the bottom, 1 inch, another inch, another inch, and then line up my ruler at the bottom again, an inch, an inch, an inch. I'll go ahead and I'll connect those lines. What I'm trying to do is make sure I keep the dots lined up. All right, so this is going to be one side, and this is going to be the other side. Now that I have my two sides done, I can now grab my scissors, and I go ahead and I can start cutting these out. Once I have them cut out, I now have my two sides, and I have an extra piece. Okay, the extra piece I'm going to save. I'm going to use that later. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my side, and I'm going to fold it so it looks like that. So as I've been doing folding before, I just go ahead and fold it till I find the line, make sure the paper is straight, and then just do the best I can to fold it accurately. I suppose there's probably a different trick I could use, seeing as I showed you some other tricks and some of the other shapes we folded. Seeing as we know that if it's an inch on every side, that it should line up. But if you use different dimensions, again, that's up to you. Okay, so here's one side. Here's my other side of the I-beam. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put some glue on here, match these two up. Then I'm gonna take my scrap paper, I'm gonna lay it over the top. Now, I want a piece on the top and a piece at the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna cut this piece of paper in half. But what I could do is I could get another piece of paper that meets them all the way across. But I'll just do this. There's one side. Plop it down. And we'll glue another piece at the top. Now you have your I-beam made, and now I have two. And then your next step is you're going to be testing these shapes out for strength to see how strong they are.